Hi, my name's Dr. Nick Carr. I'm a GP and I'm a board member for Dying with Dignity Victoria. And I was in the first group of doctors that were trained in voluntary assisted dying care here in Victoria. And as you know, we've had the legislation here in Victoria for 12 months. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of personal feedback about our experience here and what's been happening. Couple of things to talk about straight away. One of the major concerns people have about voluntary assisted dying is the question of coercion, the concern that people will be pushed into taking this option at the end of their lives. What we've found here in Victoria is there's absolutely no evidence of that happening at all. If anything, it's the other way around. Loved ones, if anything, are reluctant for their partners, for their loved ones to go through this process. They don't want them to die, but they are supportive of their decision. So that's been our experience so far, and that's mirrored overseas. There really is no evidence that coercion is a risk, and funny enough, of course, the laws are designed to prevent this. So they're very carefully framed here in Victoria to make sure that old people are doing this, or sick people, they don't have to be old, just over 18, are doing this of their own choice. The second question that's often come up is the question of what's called the slippery slope, that once you start this, it'll start happening to a broader range of people. Well, again, if you look at overseas experience, that isn't the case, and it can only happen if the law changes. So it would be you people making that decision. It can't just happen by stealth somehow. So slippery slopes are really not a concern, and certainly there's been no issue with that in the 12 months in Victoria so far. Another one that people get concerned about is palliative care. But there's no separation between voluntary assisted dying and palliative care. Everyone at the end of their lives with serious illness deserves and should have access to high quality palliative care. It's not either or, should be both. And everyone that I do voluntary assisted dying care with, and all of us who work in this field, we make sure that good palliative care is an option that's available to all of our patients. So the experiences, doctors, has been fascinating, really, and all of us involved have said the same thing, that it hasn't been taxing emotionally that much, because by the time people get to voluntary assisted dying, this stage, they've done all the hard stuff. The diagnosis is accepted. They know that they're going to die. And this is simply a question about, how am I going to die? Death is inevitable at this stage. These people have terminal illness. And for us, it's not been a question of drying tears. It's been, funny enough, more people being hugely relieved and very, very grateful for our help. So for all of us involved, it's actually been a very positive experience. There are plenty of doctors who choose not to. That, of course, is their right, and I absolutely support that. No one should be required to take part. But for the doctors who have, it's been a positive experience. And the deaths we've been involved with, everyone I've been at, whether it's been patient administered or the couple I've had where it's doctor administered, have been, and it sounds odd to talk about death as beautiful, but it actually has been. It's been gentle, it's been peaceful, it's been so appropriate, and it's been, for the loved ones who were there, something that was, as much as anything like this can be, a positive experience. But it's not about us doctors, it's about patients and what they want. And the patient experience has been an absolute revelation for me. It hasn't been huge numbers. I mean, a few hundred have come forward asking for this care, and far fewer have actually gone through with it, because for a lot of people, it's simply about knowing it's there as an option is an enormous relief. You can see that weight lifted from people's shoulders when you talk to them about this option. So that in itself has been incredibly therapeutic for a large number of people, just knowing that they could have this option. And then when people have seen it through, it's meant that they could die comfortably at a time of their choosing, with their family around them if they want. And it has been so peaceful. It has been such a gentle experience. And contrast that to the uncertainty of their death, which is, and this is the important thing, it's inevitable. Voluntary assisted dying isn't about death, it's about how I die, because people are going to die anyway. It's simply a choice about how the end occurs. So crucial thing for me is people say, oh, this is about killing people. We're not killing anyone. These are people at the end of their lives. We're just giving them a choice, and it's a very small number. So as I say, a few hundred here in Victoria have applied, far fewer have actually gone through with it. I hope that you will have the courage in Tasmania to go ahead with this law. For those of you who are uncertain about how to vote, please keep in mind that this is something that has been through in other places. When COVID has taught us anything at all, it's to respect data, science, and expert opinion. Have a look at the data. You'll see that the sky doesn't fall in, nursing homes aren't emptied, old people aren't being coerced into droves, into ending their lives. The law protects old people and make life much safer for them at this end stage. So thank you for listening, and I hope you vote for this legislation.